Hi, it's Leslie in Tennessee, and I hope that you're having a great garden season so far this year. It is May 18th, and I decided to just peek around my garden this morning, and I saw that some of the carrots were ready, so we thought we'd go ahead and make a video of harvesting the carrots. But before we do that, let's just take a quick peek around the garden. So of course it is May, so everything is looking really well. You can see this is the potatoes. This year we grew Kennebecks and Lehigh Golds. Both of them are determinate potatoes, so they don't have to be hilled up. They grow in a single layer. Then of course we have our carrot bed. We'll come back to that after, and that is a raised bed. On a raised bed. In square foot gardening, we call that a top hat. So that took our 8-inch deep cinder block bed and gave us an extra, probably with the soil packing down, it probably gave us an extra 4 inches, which was really good. Then we'll move down here. The cilantro is being picked and slowly growing back, but on its way out. We got some rosemary. We had some wonderful edamame growing here, which the rabbits thought were a great bed and breakfast food. So we'll be pulling those out and putting something else in. And then we've got our parsley, and our thyme is going to flower. This is a plant that has been in this bed for at least a year. And our garlic, we'll be harvesting that very soon. I did harvest some beautiful bulbs this morning. And when we come down here, we've got some tomato, pepper, edamame growing here. And then we have our blueberry patch. Kind of hard to see it from here. We put in these ones on the front are a new variety. They've only been out, I've heard, for less than 15 years, but they produce lovely big blueberries. Very nice, not quite ready yet, but they're looking really good. And then our other bushes are a smaller variety of blueberry, but they are also putting out a nice amount of blueberries on them. Not everything is planted yet. I like to stagger some things. So here we have some basil, peppers, onion, tomato. Of course, some flowers. Got to have some flowers in there for the pollinators and just for beauty. God created us to live in a garden, and the flowers certainly make it beautiful. And then we have more of the Kennebec and Lehigh Gold potatoes. Right over there behind this bed, I have a space, and that's reserved for when I put in my squashes. I will wait till squash bug season is past its peak before I put those in. And I know we have to wait a little longer for some zucchinis, but it's okay. They grow really fast, and we'll get plenty of them in our freezer as well as in our tummies. And then a friend of ours, one of our neighbors, gave us some Papa's beans. I've never grown pole beans before, so we put up a PVC trellis, and we're going to try growing some pole beans in this little inverted bed. What we did in this bed is we dug down about 8 inches, and then we put some excellent soil in there, and trying to keep out that grass that reroots every 2 inches from getting in there. So far that's worked fantastic. Last year we had tomatoes and cucumbers in this little tiny bed. And here is our sweet potatoes. Let's see if we can move that camera. We had them all planted, and then about 3 days ago, a rabbit came and ate most of them. So we just replanted and also put up chicken wire all around the bed. And then in this bed, we have onions, long bed of onions. And those will come out probably next month. And down at the end here, we have an experiment. This is we call it our Josh box. The man who makes the beds, his name is Josh. And we put up the cattle panel trellis, which probably many of you have already done. I'm a late bloomer on this one, and I've got my string going, and the ideal thing is that they're going to grow up there up the string, and then we're going to drape them down both sides of the cattle panel. So we've got a couple cucumber plants in there, and then we also have the tomatoes. Now I think it's time to get over and harvest some carrots. Okay, thanks to my husband, my cameraman, my right arm, my cheerleader who's behind the camera. So we do have some here. I wasn't planning on harvesting today, but we'll see what these look like. We planted these on February 25th, and I have a variety. I've got candy carrots, coral carrot, red core, chantenay, romance, and then little fingers. So I'm going to try to harvest them according to type and row. We'll see how well we do with that. So this first row is the candy carrot. So let's see how they look at there. Oh, those are very nice. I hope they all look this nice. Well, some are a little smaller. Oh, here's another. Smaller ones. Uh-oh. These are ones I wish that I had a neighbor with a bird. All right, so these are the candy carrots. Looks like these could have gone a little bit longer. I think I'm going to leave some of those in there that are still in there. So that's candy. And they're not a bad size. They're just not as large as I would like them. So we got that. Some of them are a little smaller. That's candy. We'll put those up there. The next row are the coral, K-O-R-A-L. Let's see if we can get these. Those are nice looking too. I think they were planted a little too close together. We will eat these as baby carrots. I thought I thinned them, but I guess I didn't thin them as much as I should have. And I'm going to leave some of these in here because they do feel like they could get a little bit bigger. Yeah, I'm going to let those stay in there. All right, next row is red core chantenay. I think I'm going to feel around in here before I harvest because I think I'm pulling them too small. Yeah, actually I need to thin these just a little bit while I'm in here. If I'm going to leave them, let's just thin them out a little bit. We can still eat those little ones. Okay. I'm going to just poke around and see what we can find because some of these definitely need to go longer. Let's see. There's a beautiful one. I'm kind of feeling around the neck. And if they feel like they have a good size top on them, then I'm going to go ahead and pull them, but I'm also going to thin a little bit too. There's another beautiful one. Okay, this is the very end, and so this is this is actually a little finger. I'm wondering if my seed got mixed up a little bit. You know what? I think many of these are actually going to stay in the ground a little longer. Yep, we're not going to harvest any more of these, which is fine. We have carrots to eat here for a little while. Let's see, let's put them all together. We have a nice little variety of carrots to eat there, and we will enjoy them immensely. That's the fun thing about gardening. You're never going to know what you're going to pull up, and you have to make decisions, so you have to keep on thinking, using your mind, using your body. Just remember, you were created to live in the garden.